on your public and national broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda. Welcome to Ground Zero Season 2, a show that brings you in-depth discussion ranging from politics, health, finance, sports, and so much more. Ground Zero Season 2.
Hello dear listener, you're most welcome to UBC Ground Zero. Mbaire Amon Utega is my name, and this is our first edition of Ground Zero in 2023. I must congratulate you for those who managed to come to this very interesting year, and happy new year to all of UBC Ground Zero family and all the other programs that have been playing and interesting, educating and inspiring you, the people of Uganda. This is yet another important edition of Ground Zero. We are broadcasting live on 4 radio stations covering entire Uganda, border to border, city to city. We are live on UBC Red. You can get us on 98 FM in Kampala, 97.4 FM in Arua. We are on 99.4 FM in Lila. And we're also live and clear on UBC Butebo, that you can get us on 96.9 FM in Bale, 98.4 FM in Soroti, and 95.5 FM in Arua. We're also live and clear on another radio station, UBC West Nile FM. We are live and clear on 98 FM in UBC. That is UBC Western Nile, covering Western Nile sub-region, Karamoja sub-region, Teso sub-region, Lango, and all the northern parts of this country. We also live and clear on another radio station, Magic 100 FM, the source of entertainment. I know when I talk about Magic, the youth, I'm speaking your language. We are live also on UBC, and we also streaming live on YouTube. We just put UBC Ground Zero and you be part of the conversation. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel and also to be part of the conversation. We're going to discuss important issues of national development, and I'm glad to have been joined by a special team of guests who are going to discuss important issues of national development but also address people's concerns. Topic of the day: awakening citizenry responsibility to national development. We are looking at the level at which you and I, as citizens, are responsible for what? To make sure that Uganda is moving to a right direction, but to ensure that our country is safe and secure, but also to know, because most of you are involved in cases, involved in situations that you are not supposed to, because you don't know your responsibility. And because we don't know our responsibilities as citizens, we may fail out to fulfill some duties as citizens, and that will be taking Uganda back instead of developing it. So we're going to see what are we supposed to do, what are our duties as citizens to make sure that we develop Uganda together. In the studios of UBC, I've been joined by a special team of guests. I have Juliet Naiga, is coming from UBC Red, and when I mention of that name, most of you know her. Most welcome to UBC Ground Zero, Juliet.
Thank you very much.
I think this is your first time on UBC Ground Zero?
Not my first time.
Okay.
But the very first this year.
All right.
Yes.
Most welcome to UBC. Happy New Year too. How has been 2023 in this? I think this marks the 7th day, a week in this new year.
Yes.
How has it been?
Not bad so far, but when you hear of the accidents, the death at Kamdini, that is really terrible news. We've had terrible news since the year began. We've had also the one at Namasuva. That was terrible news. But that withstanding, we still have life. We are okay. Many people are doing well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that is the best gift we have so far.
The gift of life.
The gift of life.
The most interesting gift on earth.
True.
Ondina Kenneth is also coming from UBC Radio. Most welcome to UBC Ground Zero.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator, and thank you for inviting me. I'm happy to be here.
Interesting. How has been the 7 days in this 2023?
Yeah, it has been well though, although the cases of, flu, cough, it's so rampant in many families. But I think it's a manageable condition. The year has begun well so far. No regrets yet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Michael Fupa, the linguistic man that I know in this country, the man who speaks about 50 and above languages.
50?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
You want to try him, Juliet?
Juliet wants to try me.
I'll be beaten hands down, so I won't dare.
I just wanted to start with one. I wanted to greet her Takwenyo.
And now how do I respond? And which language is that?
Are you really Ugandan? And then we can say Kope.
You're cooking, my friend.
Okay, Kopango.
At least Kenneth would.
Yeah, but there's when you know at least a little of something than when you don't know.
Yeah, sure.
So, thank you so much, Ahmed.
Okay.
Good morning, listen outside there. I'm happy to be here again today. And I'm excited for what we are going to discuss. But one thing that is of concern is the issue of the rampant accidents.
Yeah, sure. Road carnage.
Really, there's a lot of it, and people are dying, and at some point you may even fear to move, and you think maybe something may happen. But actually, I think the government and the people concerned should take some action.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Indeed, we call. But also, looking at that, before the government intervenes to do their part, we're going to see whose responsibility or what is my responsibility as a citizen before police comes to limit my speed or to check me whether I have a good tire or to know whether I have a driving license.
True.
We've been complaining that the government is not doing the best in constructing and maintaining roads. But now we have better roads. Now from here to Kamdin, from here to Elegu border, from here to Katuna, from here to Busia, from here to Pondwe, the roads are very neat. The other day I was seeing one of the photos of roads in Hoima. And someone posted, this is not London, this is Uganda. Now someone may see that road and is excited, is driving 140, 50, 60 kilometers per hour. But what comes next? So what is the responsibility? Because I believe it starts with me, the driver, before the police officer.
Or any other
person. I've more often also seen drivers warn other drivers that there is police in front, and someone says, started to put a seat belt, starts to behave, starts to reduce the speed
because of the police.
Because of the police.
Yeah, I think that is a bad it's a bad kind of behavior, and I think we condemn it. If you look at the few accidents or the many that have happened, there's where they're telling us either guys are over speeding. But I've also noticed that when it comes to time of towards the festive season, because there are many people moving up country, there's usually that rush. Either people are rushing to make a lot of money and therefore want to overspeed, reach where they're going, come back probably and make more money. But I was happy with the minister the other time when he said, if you're a bus owner, if you drive, you go once, you wait until you come the following day. And you find that these accidents are again, the rise is on because people are coming back from the villages back to town. And therefore, I think up country there are many people who are struggling to come. And because of that, our people also somehow misbehave, they overspeed, and actually the drivers should be very, very responsible because they are carrying many people, they are carrying families, And like what happened in Kamdini, really, the truck was, I think, on the sides, but this man, I think, was moving at very high speed. Because if you see the way the upper part of the bus was torn from the front up to behind, that shows you that this man was moving at very, very high speed, and I think which is unnecessary.
Very unnecessary. But also looking, most of the accidents that we have recorded, as the police reported, public transport is an issue. But most of them are those private cars. As you put it right, that most of them are rushing to get money, have 2 rounds and come back and make good money. But how about us who are driving our own cars? You know, you're going to come from here to Mbarara is about 300 kilometers, but you do not have tires. You have not serviced your car. Are we not nagging somewhere as the citizens, Juliet?
Yes, I think this topic is really timely. We're talking about responsibilities, citizenry responsibilities, and one of them is to protect public property and also lives. So if you do not protect your life and think the government is going to protect your life, I think we are just making loud cries somewhere in the forest and nobody's hearing us. And also, we're kind of hoodwinking our own selves. In many cases, you find that the problem is actually not government. The problem is me as a person who has erred. For example, how many people take the due diligence to go and do the eye test if you're going for to renew your permit? Or how many people go and do the tests again, those other tests that are needed to renew your permit? How many people really look at their cars when they are leaving home to check whether their cars are in their good mechanical conditions? You know, before you blame the pothole you met on the road, is your car really serviced? There are things that we shouldn't really be blaming government for and blame ourselves. So it is us. There is that point that is missing out in many Ugandans. As I was coming today, I came with a friend in the car, and we were talking about how Ugandans have stolen everything along the expressway, from the wire mesh to burglars.
The signposts.
The signposts have all been taken away. And I'm wondering...
And usually those small reflectors.
Yes, they're all
I
taken
don't know
away.
my brothers of bicycles or what, I don't know.
I really... No, honestly, it's not laughable. It is not.
Serious, but,
Because this wire mesh was put to prevent animals from accessing the road.
Yeah.
But someone wakes up in the morning and cuts it and sells it without even thinking, what if a dog crosses and then somebody hits it and gets an accident and a family perishes in this accident? Will I be responsible? We don't have that heart of... We are actually selfish people. We don't think about others.
At least the dog. Now I'm imagining if it was a cow, and we are going also to miss meat and milk and
you know, so
and the hides and the horns and you know, we are missing a lot.
Yes.
You have taken one, sold one, but we are missing lives. We're missing a car.
Exactly.
We're going to miss everything.
I don't know whether Kokongora comes in here.
Actually, it is going to be one of
it's the lazy
serious.
people who do that. It is the lazy people who want free things.
We want to see actually the active and inactive citizens.
Exactly.
Perhaps we would understand
but also,
who belongs where.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of ignorance, a lot of selfishness, as Naiga Juliet was saying. And some people look at those things and think it seems the rich people are the ones enjoying this. It's for government.
But government is us. Who is government anyway?
Without you, there's no government. Yeah.
Exactly.
Kenneth, yes, someone has committed a crime or is in a mistake. Like Juliet put it right, that someone is stealing the wire mesh or those signposts, but is bringing to your shop because you are buying scrap. And you have seen that this young man has brought a signpost and you're also going to give him money, are you not part of the crime?
Indeed, I would say yes. Why? Because you need to really find out. In any case, let me get to what you've mentioned, like hardware. It's a very lucrative business to the business owners. Why? Because I believe many times they enjoy free things, like very cheap materials that, some of those people that, they have long hands, either they steal, there is a way that they make those materials to the shop owners of hardware. So I think it is important that when you get a seller of just items, you need to find out, because oftentimes that is why we need things that can identify, things that can tell you that you have got the right things, in terms of like you need to have something like a receipt where these items are coming from. So indeed, I think legally you become part of it, part of the problem if you take things that you don't know where they come from. Now, I think when they follow you, you become a culprit. This is what I can say about that.
Interesting. As we give forward on that, road carnage is a very serious issue in this country and is claiming a lot of lives. A big privilege and honor to have been joined by Mark Jordan Rukoma. Is coming from UBC TV. Most welcome to UBC Ground Zero.
Thank you so much, sir. So proud to be here. Good morning, Julie. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning
sir,
to you.
And to you listening.
Road carnage, the responsibility of citizens. Every day, police reports at least 2 or 3 lives on every road.
Yes.
What is the situation? Where do I lie as a citizen? What is my responsibility to control this? Before I blame police, I blame Uganda, UNRWA for not putting those signposts. Where is my responsibility as a citizen to make sure that my lives and those lives that I have in my car are safe?
Okay. Now, in the first place, in my view, you're looking at the citizens,
yes.
The ordinary me and Juliet Naiga, very ordinary as she is. You can't. There is a breakdown of morality amongst us generally. There is a breakdown of morality amongst us generally as the ordinary citizens in this country. That is number one. But what is our responsibility? Our main responsibility must be played through systems. That is why, personally, I will not run away from asking questions to police, UNRWA, and all those guys. Because you can imagine, towards the end of the year, police will call a press conference to talk about accidents that are going to happen. It is something that we even know before it even happens. So how much can we do to ensure that it doesn't happen? How can we prevent it from happening? The citizen's responsibility cannot be seen, because you're talking about Ugandans who throw garbage in the middle of the roads. You're talking about people that cannot dig around their houses. You're talking about people who know that the thieves terrorizing the villages are Juliet's sons, but they cannot go ahead to handle them. And again,
now they're stealing signposts on the road.
Exactly. But go back. These people have a problem. But again, it is from these communities. It is from these communities that we get police officers, that we get UNRWA officials, that again we get LC5 chairmen, we get members of parliament. So a data community gives us data officials and data leaders. So you realize that the people making decisions are already data because they come from
data community.
So the citizen's responsibility is not there, and that's what keeps us in a vicious cycle of not only accidents but all the problems that we face. Because people that cannot sweep their compound will not definitely these are the people that will take people to school, their children to school, and these children will get jobs in UNRWA or in police.
So they breastfed from a bad community.
Definitely. So we will sit here and expect them to ensure law and order on the whatever. The other day I was driving behind a taxi which looked like a piece of scrap. It had no lights at the back. The number plate was broken into 2 pieces. The thing was very dirty. The windscreen actually was the only thing on the side is full of rust. You get? But there are human beings carried in this van. There are police officers on the road. All they ask for is a driver's license and third-party insurance. Something I really want a debate about, the third-party insurance, who benefits from it, because I've never had anybody that is asked to claim anything after an accident. I don't know why we pay that money for third-party insurance. I really need an explanation and evidence that somebody has benefited from that money. Yes. Now, when a police officer stops the taxi, he will ask for a driver's license. He will ask for third-party insurance.
That's all.
And for these things, somebody will squeeze him.
Not minding the condition of the car.
You look at the van, it cannot even carry somebody's cow if this is a good farmer. No farmer would risk their cow or pigs in this van, but it's carrying human beings, and the police officer has okayed them. So we have a problem with this kind of citizenry that we have in Uganda. I don't know whether we need serious sensitization to remind people of how responsible they are about their lives, and that the way they act themselves gives us what we need. The kind of communities that we have, they're the ones that produce the kind of MPs that we end up having. You see, when you're driving on the road, you'll see a taxi driver, not even a taxi driver, somebody in a Land Cruiser, leaving his lane to block vehicles that are coming from a different direction.
Today I was coming here.
Of that level, imagine if that man is given a sub-county to manage.
Today I was coming here and I met a convoy of some person, very VIP, and it went to the other side, one way. But only to find, I thought this man was going for a serious meeting, only to find was dropped at Gogo Golf to play golf.
I was coming to that. Now, you would blame the ordinary Julie Nigers in their villages in Natete who are misbehaving. But now you find a man whom you would respect misbehaving, actually doing what you would call the undoables. Some man was telling me that the garbage we see in the roads where we stay in the suburbs of Kampala are carried by Land Cruisers and those big cars
and dropped.
6:30, 6 a.m., somebody parks somewhere, he kicks the sack out of his boot, closes, and he continues to his office. That garbage, because a poor man, those small guy, people with small homes, they cannot have a sack of garbage in their houses. What do they eat? You understand? Now,
that reminds me.
So
Yesterday, but somebody dropped 100 kgs of used Pampers in my compound, and I was like, my compound. I mean, a sack of used Pampers.
That can't be a commoner who uses.
Commoner?
That's not an ordinary person.
No, it's not an ordinary person.
That is a rich one.
Yes.
So we are blaming the ordinary person, but what kind of systems do we also have? Standards. Who goes on the road to drive? Who checks that person? What is the qualification of driving a bus? A 76-seater bus. What is the qualification? You realize that it is just as long as somebody has been in the bus park for some good time.
It's coming from Lincoln.
That is the qualification. Have we ever sat down to ask? Seriously.
So, Jordan, what you are raising very, very pertinent issues. And if you look at what is happening now, it is something that cuts across. So it is up to us Ugandans, for every person to play their role, and also to take in consideration that our actions actually impact on everybody and end up actually hurting the society that we live in and the nation.
Interesting.
You find
Actually,
that
what would be the responsibility of the ordinary Ugandan like
Let's
myself?
give
Yes.
our way forward on that. As we
Yeah,
leave
our way
Lord
forward.
Carnage.
Would be asking questions. You get? Because I would be able to ask questions to. The other day I saw a video of a driver, a bus driver, eating a piece of chicken while driving. I think it was on Christmas. So he had his lunch while on.
On duty.
You get?
so he had
driving.
divided
So he had
attention.
his Christmas lunch
Divided
while
attention.
driving.
While driving.
Now, the man had his lunch while driving.
No, I think that is not
The,
right.
the passengers in the bus cannot ask a question. The man is overspeeding. You find a traffic officer. He has not asked, and you're just also watching. Actually, when this man is stopped, it is the passengers that complain first. You have roads. Personally, I think we should have highways that are dual carriaged by design. It is us citizens to ask such questions.
It will be now your money.
It is okay.
It's okay.
With the money we
How much
pay.
do you pay in taxes per
Excuse me,
month?
somebody takes my pay as you earn every month.
Jordan,
Exactly, over 400. Not
Yes.
so.
Jordan, what I'm saying here is that
Mm.
if we cannot fix the small potholes that we have in town, for example, Kampala of late, actually people are crying loud. Everywhere you find the roads have not been fixed. And whenever you talk about how we can fix this, they will tell you the resources are not around, the resources are not enough. But again, there is the problem of corruption. That's why I'm saying that we have to look at the whole issue as a
You
holistic.
see, the problem
from-
is not corruption, my brother. Actually, it is not asking question. It is us not asking question. I'm going to say something very big here.
No, you say it.
Now, can you imagine?
It is
Kampala
your
City has two
freedom.
You are
ministers.
free on UBC
get?
ground zero to say.
You know Kampala
what
City
you
has
have to
two
say.
ministers.
Yeah, they
It
do.
has a Lord Mayor, an executive director.
And a minister.
You
And
get?
two ministers.
And two
The two
ministers.
ministers, each one has a Land Cruiser 4,000 or 4,500 cc. We spend on the minister and her colleague. I think it is enough to give us some roads.
So Jordan, I think it is
Now you go, Mayor, you go to the executive director. So
Gentlemen.
how much money do we spend on the human beings in the administration of Kampala?
All right.
Let's give
Your
a
way
way
forward,
forward. A way
Kenneth,
forward.
Kenneth, on your way forward, road
Let's
carnage.
give a way forward on this.
My way forward. Jordan has given a lot about these road problems. The way forward, I think, in Uganda. Imagine at my younger age, like about 15 years back, I already had my driving permit. Okay, I was checked, I was fine, my side perfectly well, but today I'm using specs. Okay, now if I go, like we don't check the people that are renewing their driving permit. Pardon?
As long as they can pay.
As long as they can pay. So I think inspection of the people that are roadworthy is not at all there. It's not in place. So I think even when you are trying to get back, I mean, you are going to get a driving permit or renewing a driving permit. This situation, I mean, people must be rechecked and checked properly so that we understand if they are roadworthy to drive on our Ugandan roads.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe Michael and Juliet, your way forward in seconds.
Okay, my way forward would be, first of all, of course, it is to keep on sensitizing our masses, because you find that even in these accidents, there are so many people who are moving on, the pedestrians, the ones moving on foot. Most of them also end up losing their lives. So it's better to sensitize them to be careful when they are moving. But also the other thing, to help the pedestrians, I think we should be able to build are they the walkways or the sideways on the roads, so that these people can have where to pass. You find that some roads are so narrow, as Jordan said, that when squeezing yourself, there are now vehicles, there are borders who are very responsible. They want to pass wherever they get. So we should be able to create walkways for our people who are moving on foot. And as resources allow, some of the roads are too narrow. Actually, they need to be widened. The other one is that we have what we call dark spots. If we know that these are dark spots and accidents are occurring every now and then, can maybe we have, if we cannot have the traffic officers, maybe because when people see them, they train to reduce the speed. Or let's widen a bit some of these places and fix them. You find that the dark spots are ever dark and they have potholes. So as this man is moving at high speed and wants to dodge maybe the pothole, they end up what? Causing accidents. Right. For sure, we need to sit down and be able, everyone, to play their part if we are to fix the issue of road carnage.
Juliet?
I somehow differ. One, and make this as Uganda is one of the lawless countries I know. It is my country, but it's one of the lawless countries I know. We have very good laws that we do not respect. Somebody steals a signpost on the road and then is given a pat on the back. Where is police? Is it doing their job? Are these systems working? Can we have these systems start working? Can the police be held accountable for their job? Can the UNRWA do its part of the job? Because, okay, if we are supposed to keep the roads well, where is UNRWA? Where is KCCA? Where is Ministry of Works? Are they doing their job? Okay, be that one person who say, I will do my job. Even if I am sacked because of doing my job, let me do it. If you go at the Ministry of Works here to renew your permit, the system there is working smoothly. But is the inspection part of it in Naguru working very well? That system is not working. Look at that as well. Because you tell those people, you go there and you be checked, maybe inspected or do the tests. But do they do that? Can you do the due diligence and as a Ugandan before you really complain?
All right.
Yes.
Jordan?
Thank you so much. I will concur with Julie. Let everybody play their part. And let everybody be enabled to play their part. You see, you may be willing to play your part when you're not enabled to play your part. I'll start with the ordinary Juliet and myself. Our role is to ask questions to whoever should have an answer. You get? In the bus, if the idiot is driving like a mad person, you must be able to ask a question. But if you sit like a bunch of matoke and the man is driving as if you cannot say anything, that's where we end up. Then, I've driven along Entebbe Expressway. The guys that built the road put a signpost like 3 times. Slow down.
On a slippery
or on a red day, slow down here. They steep descent, please slow down. I swear a Ugandan comes at that very point. He cruises. Then you find the car swinging. Now, people should ask questions, but again, they should wake up. Those who need to sensitize our people. I'm so happy for programs like this. Those of us in the media, what do we tell people? Are we talking about Chameleon, Spice Diana, and Bobby Wine and Bebe Cool all the time? Do we really have programs like this that can awaken, tell people what their responsibilities are? Because yes, we may sit in our houses and blame the leaders, but have we played our role of being sensible enough? Then I'll come to the systems that are in charge of our well-being. How do you have 2 ministers in Kampala, 30 councillors, and a team of whoever, technical people? They're earning so many millions at the cost of not being able to work on the roads. Then are these people of any use? That's why so much the whole conferences to look busy. Yet actually, what is to
Addressing
ensure
media.
if you go, Katwe is in the middle of the town. The potholes there, you can bury a cow and cover it. The potholes around Katwe. There is another one near Buganda Road Primary School. You get near Bat Valley Primary School.
At Garden City.
In Garden City here. The other day I saw the executive director herself leading an exercise of putting patches in the middle of the road.
Okay, they said maram.
Wheelbarrows of maram. Goodness.
But
You know, in a city that
you have
has,
been complaining that they are not maintained.
you know, in
and
a city that
repaired.
has a minister, cabinet minister, state minister, Lord Mayor,
The
councillors.
other
So-
time I was listening to
Yes, Mike.
the CEO KCCA. She was saying actually it is maram, but it's not ordinary maram.
Whatever.
It is a maram which has been mixed
Imported.
with some.
Imported
not
No. Actually,
No, the thing is-
this is what I'm asking
But you
Ugandans to
before you
do.
fix
When
it,
they
We
don't
should
repair,
ask
when they
questions.
don't repair,
Let me tell you, Mike,
complain.
No.
there are places where I
No,
expect
Jordan,
maram to be.
but I think we.
But
we
anyway,
are-
if
we-
you
we
move
are-
down right
we
now,
recognize- we
if you move
recognize
down
the
right now
problem.
to Yusuf Lure,
Yes.
yeah, you see the maram that has been filled is already fading away.
Because it
It's
rains.
the potholes are still.
It is after that
Maybe
maram
It-
that
It has
also
not
reduced.
rained.
Maybe
I'm very sure if
the
it
money
rained
they have,
tonight
the
or
money
this
they
afternoon,
Is
the
for
money they
maram.
have is for the maram.
it does. Okay, let them save
them
it
ask
and
for the
have
money.
Let them save that money.
Let them ask for the
No,
money.
no,
Then
but-
whoever designed-
Do something better.
No. My point is here.
No,
Whoever designed
Jordan.
the KCCA that
Yes.
should have 2 ministers, 2 honorables, 20 councillors. Well,
Yeah.
how useful are those people if
No,
they cannot
They have to
give a service?
they have to
They're just
represent
a
the
burden.
people.
They
They are
Representing
representing
do
the
what?
people.
Now, I want. That's what I'm asking you.
Aman.
Our role as ordinary Ugandans should be asking such questions and ensure that these people give us answers that are practical. We don't need maram at a place, for example, like
Garden City.
Garden City.
All right.
In an exercise led by the whole executive director.
And she brags about
Gentlemen,
it.
And she's happy.
Gentlemen, allow me leave that and that. I think they have. In 1 second, Michael.
Yeah. The 1 second that I'm going to use very well is that we in Uganda, it seems we have so many of administrative costs are so many. So as Jordan said, you find that there are so many people actually looking after a very small thing that could have been done by one person. So as the president was saying, this also becomes kukongora. Why do you put so many people? Actually, it cuts across. You find that we are having so many MPs, so many councillors, so many people who are actually doing a job which could be done maybe by one
Who
person.
said it
or
is
2
Kukongola?
people.
I think this is the president, if I'm sure. Actually,
It is the
thank you,
president.
gentlemen and the lady, for.
If you
for-
listened in well, it was the president.
Interesting. Gentlemen and the lady, allow me change my compass to face another direction.
Okay.
But also thinking and recurring that statement, Okukongola, there are those, we have 2 groups of people in our societies, Ugandan society in this case, those who are active citizens and those who are inactive. But let's go back, as we have been discussing in road carnage. Who is an active citizen and who is an active citizen? But before we go to active and inactive, who is a citizen? Jordan, you can help us draw a picture of who is a citizen.
Ideally, or what somebody I would call a citizen.
Someone you'd call a citizen.
Somebody, a resident in that particular country, who knows and plays his duty and all the responsibilities. You're expected to pay taxes and you're expected to contribute to the good of this particular country where you subscribe as a native. That's how I would define, because you can't claim citizenry just because you stay here. What is your contribution to this country? Mere asking a question.
Are you
to
saying
somebody,
that being a citizen comes with the responsibility?
definitely
Exactly.
you must be paying taxes. You must be doing something towards the good of this particular country where you claim
Where you stay.
subscription. Yes. So if you're not and you're just seated in your house, you don't pay tax. If you pay, you just pay and go away. You don't even ask for accountability for these taxes. Let me tell you, they
After
take
paying
money
my
from
taxes, am I supposed to ask for the accountability?
not see. Are you supposed? You must ask for accountability. This is money taken from you to ensure that some things that you can't do as an individual are done by the system that takes this money. You can't tell me you're taking money from me every month to pay a very group of people and potholes are hitting me every other day. No.
But if payment of my staff is part of services that I have to give to the people of Uganda.
No, I must see the services. Actually, this is where the problem comes in. Currently, we have a country that has the biggest number of young people.
87%.
I had an assignment to interview all the presidential candidates during the 2021 elections. I had a question for all of them, a general question. What observation have you made in the districts that you have traversed? Each one of them had a different one. But General Tumukunde told me, this one is not, my observation is not even about politics. We have a big group of children that we have not planned for as a country since 1980 up to now. Somebody needs to wake up to this problem. You get? Now, as a taxpayer, I'll ask you, every village now has a group of Sambu younger boys between 14 and 19 that are stealing people's phones, hitting people with iron bars, every town in Uganda. Because I was in Tororo and they were telling me about
and we know
stuff.
them.
Yes.
In our societies.
So as a country, where do these children go? Because right now they are 17, 18, 19. What do they become at 40?
When they have started stealing at 17.
At 17, he's hitting a human being with an iron
bar. By 40, he'll be stealing guns.
What does he become at the age of 40? As a taxpayer, if I manage to pay the tax, I have a duty to ask for a good education system that can absorb all the children and groom them into serious people that will make this country flourish even when I'm dead and I'm not around. If I mind about only the 2 children I have in my house, they can never have a good Uganda when 50 boys around the village have not been taken care of. So, a citizen, after paying tax, you must ask questions about the roads, the education system, the health system, and everything. So a system is somebody with a duty towards their country. Actually, not this person who waits for only benefits. You have somebody who has a lot of responsibilities and roles to play for the good of your country. Even those questions you ask, some of us, we don't have any interest in politics and what.
Yeah, true.
Actually, asking an executive director of KCCA or a cow of a district, that is not politics. Asking them a question, these are accounting officers directly who receive our taxes actually. So asking them questions, it has nothing to do with politics.
Whom we pay.
Exactly. So when I give, even we make a circle here and we make Julia our chairperson, you treasure. Definitely me, I will ask you questions. We paid money that we shall have chicken.
At the end of the day.
During lunch break, when we go for lunch break, we should have chicken. How come we are eating mukene? You understand? Commando agreement was that we contribute 3,000 shillings, the 5 of us, and we managed to contribute and get a piece of chicken each. So I will ask questions. So a citizen must be contributing in whatever they do. The little work you go and do at your stall in the market, you're contributing because you get money, pay tax, and you being busy, it has something to contribute towards the country.
Interesting.
Yes.
Juliet, active citizen and inactive one.
An inactive one to me is one who plays no role
at all,
but asks for too much.
He has not paid taxes, but he is asking for accountability.
Exactly.
I would equate a citizen to a family member. If you're in a family,
because home is the unit.
Yes, the smallest unit
of any administration.
Yes. So if you're in that family, we have a father, mother, and the children, maybe and the helpers. But before the father tells me, Juliet, go clean the toilets, it is my responsibility to make sure that as dad goes to town to look for money, my job as a child is to clean at home or help the helper at home. So everybody in that unit has a responsibility. I'm not expecting my father to come back home and then clean his shoes or tend to the goats if we have any, or lay my bed as a father, or my mother to lay my bed. You see? So there is a division of responsibilities right from home, and that should be carried from homes to the units where we work or workplaces. Because when I am employed here as an editor, I don't expect the MD to come and to do the editing job when he's supposed to be doing the managerial job. I don't expect the chief news editor to be doing the sub-editor editorial job when she's supposed to be managing the unit of newsroom. And I don't expect the editor to be a reporter when they are reporters. That is how I will equate a citizen in this case.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Michael, gone are the days when we knew that a good citizen in Uganda was that one. Those who paid, I don't know whether you paid that, is it?
Graduated tax.
Graduated tax.
Yeah.
That when you make 25, you pay a tax and then you are known as an active citizen of Uganda.
Yeah, thank you so much, Aman.
Did you pay that tax?
I paid graduated tax, actually. Before it was, I started working early. I would say I'm one of those Ugandans who has been active, not inactive, and I've been contributing to my country.
That is very good.
Now, the
I
thing...
heard that people would escape when they see some tax collectors coming.
Yeah. And at our place, people are fond of taking malwa, but you'd find this guy is abandoning the pot and taking off very hard. And I would say by then, even people were not moving with sophisticated machines like guns. These guys were moving with, they call them batons or some sticks. And the person they feared most was, there were people who are called Mutongole chiefs, the parish chiefs. But if a sub-county chief passed or came around,
even if he was going for a buy,
the entire sub-county would be shaking.
You'd see people taking off seriously. So,
and the most funny thing, people used to pay 7,000, 6,500.
No, it wasn't funny. It was a lot of money,
why
Jordan.
Was it funny? People used to get injured running away.
Yeah, that you would pay.
And they spend so much in the hospital.
So I would say in those days, issues of okukongora or people who were idling around and not actually being active citizens was minimized because of that. There was something that was driving them. However, when things changed a bit and taxes were fixed in other things apart from the graduated tax, somehow we've seen that some of our people in society are kind of not doing what they're supposed to do. And that's why I'm pitching my speech on what the president was saying. He was pointing out, and these people are everywhere, the people who are not doing what they are supposed to do. And all these problems that we're seeing, and including the ones that we have mentioned before, are actually happening because of such people. People are lazy. Somebody gets a job. When they are looking for it, it's like they are going to, they will be there all the time. They will be very wide. They will be doing it well. But as soon as they get the job, they now start slowing down and not doing what they're supposed to do. So mine is that now we know that these people are there. They're everywhere. I was giving an example the other day on the villages where we stay. We will get there some young men or young women who do not want to work. And because they don't want to work, they keep timing homes which have where food is ready. So they will, in the villages.
And they will time for eating.
They look for the smoke. When they don't see any smoke, they know that there's no activity taking place at Harmony's place. When they see the smoke, they don't rush to come. They wait. When the smoke subsides, they know, the food is ready. And this person arrives. He will enjoy and go away. So what am I saying? I'm saying that this business of not doing what we are supposed to do actually doesn't contribute to the GDP, doesn't contribute to the wealth of the country. That's why you find that there are so many people who are in this bracket which is not contributing to the wealth of the country. And some of the things that we are crying that are not being done is, of course, people keep saying that we don't have enough. But how are we utilizing the little that we have. So the Kukongola problem, or that problem of not doing what we are supposed to do, keeps cutting across. It starts from our homes, as Naiga said, because actually home is the smallest unit of what we see in a bigger government that we have now. If all the members in the home do not contribute or do not do something, then you find that that home will fail. That home will have issues. So what we are saying now is that let all of us be doing something. However, before we do that something, then we must have the responsibility. And this responsibility, there are people who are supposed to do some enforcement. Because in a home, the mother and the father are the enforcers of the law. Yeah, of course, enforcing law does not mean saying, okay, you are wrong. Sometimes if you don't do that something a number of times, then you are punished. Right. So we are saying for our country to move forward, let's look through all the systems and see these people who are not doing what they're supposed to do, remind them, and if things don't work out, then they should be actually punished.
Interesting.
Yeah.
UBC Ground Zero, we have live on 4 radio stations: UBC Red, UBC Butebo, UBC Western Nile, and Magic 100 FM. We're also streaming live on YouTube. You just enter UBC Ground Zero and you'll be part of this conversation. We are going for a very short break. We're coming back with your calls on 776-511-426. You will call us on 776-511-426. And you can as well send your messages on 0776 24 26 47. A responsible citizen, active and inactive citizen. Before you go for a break, Kenneth, those who we've talked about that tax. I don't know whether you paid it. Michael told us that he did.
Yeah.
But do you think we should bring it back because it was making people active? But if it is not about bringing that tax back, what can make people really active? Because the idlers are becoming many.
Indeed. I did not have the experience of graduated tax. I didn't pay. I think I was still in school and, Obi Mike has tested. Really, I cannot talk for the people because that experience of graduated tax, whether to bring it or not to bring it, I cannot say that. But indeed, I want to tell you that human nature...
How can we make our people really active?
I'm coming. Human nature is a very complicated one. That is why we have the issue of what Mr. Michael has talked about, the issue of compliancy. You find people are really lazy at some point. They need that push factor to do things. But really, you see, I wanted to pose a question. When we talk about awakening citizenry, responsibility to national development, my question is, who is to take this role of saying, oh, Dugo, Michael, wake up and do something. Okay? Wake up and do something.
Can I answer maybe partly?
Please.
Yeah, we have leadership from the word go, from the grassroots, from the family to the president. So if you are a leader, it is your responsibility. That's why if things go wrong, actually I want to blame, as Jordan was saying, these things start from our families. There are people who have never had any responsibility. So when he comes and gets a job, he thinks he's there on his own. He thinks he's not answerable to anybody. And those are the people who mess us up. So from the grassroots, from the family, let's try to inculcate some responsibility in these people and their role to the nation.
All right. Interesting.
Indeed,
as you conclude on that, Kenneth?
Yes, Mr. Moderator, I think the question that I posed is what I was coming to talk about, that Michael has actually ably answered it. I wanted to say, as Ugandans, we should really, as Jordan was saying, ask a lot of questions in order to get services done. There are actually factors that actually impede on development that I would want to mention. Like Jordan was trying to deny it, but we have the issue of corruption, which is a very, 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 very big problem in this country. I have gotten some something to talk about. Recently, I wouldn't want to mention the district, but you find that some money was appropriated.
You may not mention. You may mention the district and leave out the leaders.
Money was
That
appropriated.
is being corrupt. You mentioned them.
Yes, we are fighting corruption.
When money was appropriated in almost all the sectors,
Play your duty and say it.
As a citizen,
Yes.
be an active citizen.
production and otherwise,
Said the
you,
truth.
you, the aides of departments swindled the money. Okay, and they actually falsified accountability for things that were not done. Okay, now the IGG went down and now has come up to ensure that these people account for the money that they embezzled. So
Which district did you say?
I beg to be forgiven. She knows about the
I have no
story.
kind words for corrupt.
But if you were
Because
talking
so
to your
many people
editor,
have-
you would be in a corner in newsroom. You are on radio. Let the
yes.
people
Now,
know.
I have no
I
kind
will
words
invite you
for
here as,
corrupt.
as an active citizen.
The whole nation is
By the-
listening to you.
By the what?
So how do you come to radio to talk to your editor?
What Kenneth is doing is we have started now praising the corrupt and giving them comfort that what they are doing is right. That is bad. That is my very, very big problem I am seeing in Uganda. If you're corrupt, you've killed so many, more than malaria,
Ashamed.
more than... You are ashamed. Let us start shaming
In
those
fact,
people who are corrupt.
Kenneth said that I dodged talking about corruption. I request Mr. Moderator, after the break, what makes people passive citizens?
All right.
We need to look at that.
Interesting.
How do people end up becoming passive citizens? Because I don't think no one would want to be passive.
Sure.
After this break, we're coming back. We are discussing responsibilities of a citizen and looking at we are awakening citizenry responsibility to national development. In the studios of UBC, I have Michael Fupa is coming from UBC Butebo, Juliet Naiga is coming from UBC Red, and Michael Jordan Rukoma is coming from UBC TV, and Odina Kenneth is coming from UBC Radio. We're going for a very short break. We're coming back in a bit. 776-511-426 is the number that you can call, or send your messages on 776-2426-47.
Ground Zero Season 2. Stay tuned. We shall be right back. That was Ground Zero Season 2, a production of Uganda Broadcasting Corporation. UBC it's hot.
We lost it. We didn't know exactly what the problem was on the ground. There is no pretending about the effect of this thing. There's no pretending about it. Nobody should. It's a problem.
It's balanced.
This is not the stage at which you start planning to tax a commodity like coffee, especially from down there.
It's intellectually engaging.
The Constitution provides that the land must be registered under the customer tenure system, which is one of those that's recognized by the Constitution.
Ground Zero Season 2, live and syndicated on your public and national broadcaster. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Tune in to Ground Zero on UBC Radio. We discuss politics.
The money we collect as taxes in the country, we lose it in corruption.
Economics.
The four economic sectors where their jobs and wealth are: commercial agriculture, industries, services, and ICT.
Education.
The classes which will not need an abridged curriculum are the entry-level classes of P1, Senior 1, and Senior 5.
Culture and religion. and other areas of human interest. Ground Zero every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on UBC Radio. Don't miss.
It's hot.
We passed it. We didn't know exactly what the problem was on the ground. There is no pretending about the effect of this thing. There's no pretending about it. Nobody should. It's a problem.
It's balanced.
This is not the stage at which you start planning to tax a commodity like coffee, especially from down there.
It's intellectually engaging.
The Constitution provides that the land must be registered under the citizenry system, which is one of those that's recognized by the Constitution.
Ground Zero Season 2, live and syndicated on your public and national broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda. Welcome back. Ground Zero Season 2 continues.
Indeed, welcome back from that very short break. This is UBC Ground Zero. We are live and clear on 4 radio stations, UBC Butebo, UBC Western Nile, Magic 100 FM, and UBC Radio. We're also streaming live on YouTube. You just put UBC Ground Zero and you'll be part of this very conversation. 776-511-426 is the number to call, or send your message on 776-2426-47. We are discussing awakening citizen responsibility to national development, and in the studios of UBC, I have Michael Jordan Rukoma, UBC TV, Dina Kenneth is coming from UBC Radio, Juliet Naiga is coming from UBC Radio, and Michael Fupa is coming from UBC Butebo. Ambaire Amon Utega is my name, and this is UBC Ground Zero. Ground Zero? Yes, Juma, most welcome and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, to all the teams in the studio.
All right.
I thank you. I thank all of you.
All right. Responsibility of Uganda.
Come again?
Responsibility of citizens.
Yes.
The national development.
Yes. You see, today we Ugandans, we are trying to face almost challenges in all corners. I could say maybe from Arua up to the other southern part of the county. Number one, we have something we call segregation. Two, we have tribalism. Number three, we are here at the partisan, being so chronic to certain party, whether those parties, they're inactive, they're not performing well, we are there like a chronic disease attached. We are having lack of transparency. Okay? Then finally, I have honest. We are not honest via the leadership we are carrying today. Now, I, as Juma here, how am I going to perform my responsibility as being a good citizen? The sensitization, we are not paying for it. Just all a matter of getting airtime, getting in touch to UBC Radio. That's when we get some of other lectures from. People are not like government leadership. I think they are so vulnerable these days. Even you can see some citizens, they are even overperforming than their leader, the head of the village, the head of community, the head of the district. You see someone like RDCs, they normally wake up, maybe when the corona issues is too high, then the president is always instructing them, please make sure this and this guidelines are being followed by your own community. And if without the president's voice, it's like they're just there, only changing seats of the direction of the shade of their trees under their chambers. Now, a senior citizen have to wake up, his chairman. His chairman is Mr. Who, is Mrs. Who. If there is a lack of dustbin where we can put our disposal, a senior citizen, it is your responsibility to go and wake up this chairman, tell him or her, this is what we deserve to do, and we have to follow with your effort. We have to do this. A senior citizen have to participate where there is a lack of water, and the access of water is might be available, but due to some sleeper head of the whatever the community, then but an active citizen will play that role. Then you will find that for sure there is being honest, there is being transparent. Now, when you see government projects are coming to our community, and this is the very time you will see the leaders are trying to show that they are the leaders. And in signing and endorsing those documents, They are there present. Then let us wait for act. You will see that it is now again this very senior citizen, or the citizens by birth. Actually, I have to talk about the citizen by birth, because the one who is by birth has known each and every policies within the country, within the institution of Uganda.
Okay.
Unless this one who are using the other side of the whatever. I thank you so much. By Monday I will be there at UBC to do something a little.
All right.
I wish you the best, and 2023 to be the excellent one. I thank you.
Thank you, Juma, and for always being part of UBC Ground Zero.
Welcome.
That is Juma sharing his views with us about the topic. We also have a message from hello, I'm Philip Ladu from Reno Camp, Central Ment. I love the topic so much. The number of inactive citizens, I think he meant citizens, is growing daily and every single minute due to the poor accountability, corruption, so we need good deliverance of services. Thanks. That is Phil Plado from Reno Camp. Samuel from Ginger say thanks for the program. I love the topic. We should name and shame to fight corruption. Thank you. Another one says this is Maggie. You didn't put where you're sending the message from or listening from, but says corruption starts at home. Okay. Keep your messages coming through on 776 24 26 47 or call 776 511 426 and you'll be part of this conversation. This is UBC Ground Zero, awakening citizenry responsibility to national development. Let's start from there. Before the break, Jordan, you had a passive citizen. In seconds, you can take us through as we go to another side of especially a sensitive one, which you mentioned, education. But before that, I have, let me get this caller. UBC Ground Zero?
UBC?
Yes, you're live and clear.
Good morning.
A very good morning to you. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Ron from Stintale.
Stintale?
Yes.
Your name again?
Brian.
Okay. Your concern, please.
I think when you say that we need, we people that pay tax at the same time to monitor where the tax goes and to fight corruption, to be people that are look out for the government projects. I think you're giving us a lot to do. We have given the government the mandate. We give them tax. They should be the one to look out their projects, look out for our security, look out for our well-being, and then for our job we can look for tax. It is like when you're in business, you pay someone the salary to do what he's supposed to do, then you have to do his job, and then you pay him. I believe we've got a lot of people on the ground. If you know how many people that are paid for the services to be delivered to the people, from the president to the LC1, again you involve the citizen again to do the same job, I think we are doing a disservice to ourselves. Let the government put out mechanism that can roll out and see whatever that they are doing can manifest to the society.
All right.
Secondly, you tapped on the road. I think as a government, on those roads that go far, they must put maybe a one way. Let it be a one way that this goes to Gulu, this goes to Kampala. Like as we have the one of expressway. It hopes that whoever is going this side does not disturb the one that is coming. That is the one of the reasons that we are having accidents. And also those drivers, I think the owners of those big buses, they have a role to play in helping that these drivers are well mentally stable. Because you look at this recent accident that happened, the primary result says that the driver was on phone, and over speeding.
All right.
Thank you for presenting, and have a good day.
Thank you also for being part of us from the time we started and for your submission. Another message coming in, government offices have become family assets. Citizens have no authority of explaining what is in the ground. And even if they complain, there will be no response. Accountability is not there completely. I'm David from Tororo. Serious concerns coming from the people of Uganda.
Yes.
Maybe we can give our take on the callers and those who sent their messages as we go to your concern, passive citizens.
Yes, I would love to start with the just previous caller.
Barry from Stintele.
He says he cannot pay tax and again do the job of following it up. My brother, you are like a parent who pays millions at Makerere. He does not care to know whether Julie goes to class. Only to get disappointed on graduation day. Where you put your money, you must follow up. And that is the duty we have as citizens. We must pay the tax. But after paying it, we must ask people questions. We must have a good road. Because at the end of the day, we are also these people in the systems are also human beings.
Yeah, sure.
They can go wrong. So if you don't put them on pressure to get what you have paid for, we don't pay them this tax for them to go and enjoy. No, this is money they have to use to give us what we need for a good life as a country. So we must ask for it because at the end of the day, we give it in. So that one, my brother, don't even think like that ever again.
Okay.
You must go. He said Chitintale, that could be Nakawa division.
Yeah, of course.
Those people should tell you where your money goes, because if you have a business there, I'm sure they come for the license every month or every year. You must paying for. Can you imagine in town here we pay for garbage collection? So how do you tell me I don't ask you where that money goes if I have a heap of garbage in every area of the town? So my brother, you should ask questions.
All right. Kenneth?
I still want to appreciate the call of Chitentale. I think he has a point, Mr. Jordan, because imagine a system that has syndicate, okay? Money is being given for services to be delivered, and you don't see results. How does this ordinary person ask questions? Imagine I'm from my village, money was given, borehole is supposed to be constructed, and you don't see it. This person, the ordinary person in the village may not be able to ask questions the way you may think, because I believe the system must be in place to follow up how this money is spent.
Right.
There must be evaluation. There must be something tangible that this money goes for.
No, a citizen must be able to ask questions.
All right.
I insist.
In a situation where they don't get answers, what should they do? Michael?
Aman, thank you so much. This is very interesting.
Indeed.
For us, we say that sometimes all answers may be correct, but there's one which is more correct. I just want to appreciate the people who are contributing, and especially the caller from Kitintale. I will differ slightly from my brother Jordan, but what he's saying is true, because where you put your money, you must know what it is going to do. It is his responsibility. However, when you look at an ordinary person, where does he start from? Because after they collect this money from him, they put in the consolidated fund. There are people who are appropriated.
You see, Amon, I'm not going.
No, Jordan, just please.
After paying my tax,
let Michael finish his
point.
When do I become an ordinary person?
Now, for example, we are talking of potholes here. What steps have you taken, Jordan? Have you ever asked URA? I mean,
Jordan, you can't put even Maram in some of those potholes, but somebody from KCCA can do. But what I'm trying to say is, that as this brother of ours said from Chitintale, that's why we're saying there must be systems. In a home, I will tell you, I have my children, and the elder child that made a roster. They say this one is supposed to sweep, this one is supposed to wash plates, this one is supposed, and the system has to do itself. So this other person, the people whom we are saying are leaders, are supposed to be able to monitor and see, is these things being done? For example, we have actually people that we have elected. We have from LOC1, we have all these people up to the members of parliament. Okay. Their role is supposed to now to see where this ordinary person cannot do. What are these guys doing? Why are we paying them?
I bet to
but
say
we are
something.
saying, Michael, as you conclude? Yeah, as I conclude, I'm saying the ordinary person, he has his time when he can question these people. Okay. If we are seeing that the system is not moving well, why are we bringing the same people? Because the time will come. Okay, I know there are issues of elections, but when time comes, you will get another person whom you think can represent you well.
Jordan,
I beg to say something.
As you come in, let me get this call.
Okay.
Ground Zero.
This is Brian from Stintari coming back to.
Okay, Brian has come back.
In seconds.
Now, there is something I want to
time.
clarify.
Let him there.
I want to ask Mr. Jordan, how much money was given to his constituency? Does he know? What did he do? Because I'm talking as an ordinary person that doesn't know accounting, that doesn't know what they are going to do, but they are collecting my money to tell me that the government is going to do this and this and this and this for the well-being of myself. All right. How many people? Let's say that my village has something like maybe 2 million people. Okay. Are we all going to go to the accounting office of the district to ask him what the government is doing? If the system is working, things will happen swiftly. Let us
suffering.
Let us look at how other countries are operating, and then we reflect it here on Uganda. Okay. I think Mr. Jordan is not in Uganda, he's living in a certain country.
Thank you.
So
Brian,
I have two people to answer.
Thank you,
Brian and Michael Fupa here. Let me start with Brian.
Seconds.
Yes. Actually, let me start with Michael. When do I become an ordinary person? How come I'm not ordinary when I'm giving in my taxes? You get? So when after paying my taxes, you remind me that I'm an ordinary person. You get? The moment I'm a citizen that can even pay taxes, nobody has a right to call me ordinary here. Nobody. Because I contribute. Actually, this is what we are doing, is awakening the minds of our people. Brian,
you want the value of your money.
Yes, you are not ordinary as long as you can pay that money to anyone. If you are an employee like me, somebody takes money from you monthly, this person must account for this money. So, Brian, you're not an ordinary person. Now,
he was referring to an ordinary Ugandan who is in Kaberebyong, who is in Antonga Modip.
Now,
who is in Rwebishuri somewhere very deep.
A man in Rwebishuri, every time he sells his milk to go buy a liter of paraffin, he's paying taxes.
Indeed.
And in his house, they burn paraffin every day. So he's paying taxes on a daily basis. So why do you call him ordinary when he asks for a good road? You don't tell him he's ordinary when he's paying this money.
So how about when he asks a question and does not get answers?
Now, he should not stop because let me first wind up.
Kenneth,
let me wind up. This is what we have to throw out of our biggest problem sometimes is mindset. That somebody comes, he's standing for an MP, he will promise you roads, whatever, well knowing that he does not have a budget as an MP to construct a road. But he's taking advantage of your position as citizens because you don't know that he will not have a budget to do so. So when you start asking, that's when he tells you, but me, I'm an MP, I don't have a budget to do a road. Now, guys, as long as somebody can pay taxes, we should stop calling them citizens. Then Brian is asking, can I go to the whatever? You have a chain from the LC1, from the what? There are so many platforms. Your ability to call on this show and complain about a road in Nakawa where you stay, the people in KCCA are hearing. You get? Take good use of such platforms like here. Talk about the bad roads in your area. Let those people hear that you are concerned. We should stop calling ordinary, yet they
All
pay
right.
taxes.
All right.
Okay.
Ground zero.
In a minute.
Juliet.
Seconds.
Yeah, this is Juma again.
Seconds, please.
Yeah, let us not say being ordinary is bad.
Mm.
It's like how we get stuff from duplicated work. But do they all work? Are they all important? To me, it is a combined effort. I, as a citizen, I have a role to play.
Yes.
Not only to stop, I've already paid money and I sit back. No. I will do the follow-up. I'm here in Kampala. Yes, I will throw my voice back to maybe where I come from. And the good thing, we appreciate UBC Radio because even, let me say, last year, towards the end in December, my MP, Member of Parliament, was there at UBC here.
Okay.
And exactly we talked about infrastructure. No, accountability is very important, and no one will tell you that let it stop at the central government.
Thank you.
And yet the services are assigned to go and serve down deep in the villages there.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it is combined effort. I thank you.
Most welcome. Gentlemen, can we leave that at that? Kenneth, in only a second, please.
Maybe you give
What?
Juliet.
Mr. Moderator, what do you expect?
Juliet has not said anything.
Juliet, you're coming after Kenneth. I request. Kenneth, in seconds.
By the way,
As we leave that, because we still have a lot, really.
Yeah, I wanted to maybe throw a little bit of more light on the term ordinary. Ordinary, to me, it's not like you are a low person, you a low class or something like that. In this context, we're trying to say the caller is ordinary in the sense that he does not all those offices where money is channeled to do their work. You understand? So the holders of those offices are the ones to be held accountable, and that is why I'm saying everybody is important. The word ordinary does not put somebody down, or you are a low class or something like that.
Okay. Juliet,
yes.
in seconds.
Not seconds.
I request. I really request.
Okay,
We are already taking the second.
All right.
Now, as Ugandans, we should not be really like somebody who invests his money and then leaves the business to somebody else to take care of it. My only investment in Uganda is my tax. You get? I must find out what my tax does. If I go to a hospital and I don't find drugs, I must ask questions. Where does my 400 go every month I pay? If I cannot be able to ask that question, I have local leaders. Uganda is very good with laws and the systems. We have the lowest unit of administration from our home, then we have a local council one. We used to have those meetings, village meetings, where we would air out our grievances as a village. Our road is bushy, our well is not functioning well, and we would work on it either through Bulungi Bwansi or find the local council chairperson would forward this to the second local council, LC2, then to the district and so on. What happened? Can't we talk to even our local council chairpersons? Can we utilize them in case we do not talk to them? Can we utilize the local council people and talk to them and forward our grievances instead of just sitting and waiting for somebody to monitor for you? If we do not take these infrastructure developments in our localities as our own, we're bound to have nothing at all, because we think if it is government who has constructed this road or well for our community, then they must come and take care of it. But we should own this infrastructure as citizens.
Okay.
Yes.
Gentlemen and a lady, allow me now leave that at that, and we change my my campus to face another direction. Middle income status. We've been changing polls. It was 2020 what? Now we are in 2040. We're now 2060. What is my contribution as a citizen of this country to make sure that the country does not change polls come 2020, come 2030, but we achieve it as a country? Not blaming the government. Let me start with you, Kenneth.
I would pass over to Michael.
Middle income. No, I want your perspective, please.
I'm coming. Kindly pass over to Michael.
Mike.
Aman, thank you so much. Middle income status is a measure that some people that were growing from a very low level and were moving up. Basically, what happens in our country is that we look at the value of all the goods and services that we offer, or all our riches. And these riches, what happens essentially is that we now divide the riches according to the number of people in our country. And then we get that ratio or that figure. The figure for us, I think I may not be so certain, but to be in a middle status income, I think you must, a country, for every citizen who is in that country, is supposed to have about 1,000, either and $5 or something of that.
I would love to know my responsibility as a citizen to make sure that we achieve that as a country.
Exactly, that's where I'm coming, because we have to know what we are supposed to do or what it means. So if we reach that, when we divide all our resources and everybody, every Ugandan is having a 1,030 something dollars, then you know we are in the middle status income. Uganda has been moving steadily since, of course, all these governments, and we would say that there has been some remarkable increase, and we are somewhere in 900. Or we may be approaching 1,000 at some point. Yes, I will get you these figures. You can check the GDP of you can the per capita income. Look at the per capita income. You people are so modern. You have the phones here. Just check. We are somewhere in 900 for all of us. So we are moving towards that mark, but I would say we are not there now. What do we do to get there? What we should do to get there is that we must increase on our incomes, which the president has been singing, which everybody has been singing. However, what is lacking in us, in most cases, is actually the implementation part of it, and probably getting our priorities right. For a country like Uganda, I would think most of our monies would be put where we have a comparative advantage. And the comparative advantage that we have as a country, Uganda, is actually in agriculture. That is in cropping and rearing of animals. Other things can come. Then when we get this right, the next step would be how can we add on value? Because if you add some value to a commodity, it fetches a higher price. Then after that, we look at the market. Can we sustain, are we able to sustain the market within Uganda, the market now within East Africa? Then we can move elsewhere. So these are some of the things that we must put in place. So for a citizen, they must be taught, or they must work as hard as possible to make sure that they increase on their income.
Middle income status, responsibility of citizens, Juliet.
The middle income status, to me, looks like a mirage, something that is there but not there. You know, when you are in Kampala...
How can we put it there?
When you are in Kampala, it looks like we are there. But when you go beyond the Kampala metropolitan area, the situation is different. You would find somebody looking for even 1,000 shillings for their pockets. The person who are farmers, let me tell you, farmers do a lot of work, hard work. But are they able to sell their produce to
access the market?
No, not re-access the market. They access the market, but can they get value for their products? I was somewhere in Kamuli over the Christmas period, and somebody came with a very big bunch of nakati. And he was like, this goes for 1,000 shillings. But to me, it looked like it would go for even 15,000 shillings. And he was like, no, if you give me 1,000, that's what these what do they call middlemen give us when they come to our gardens. So that means there is somebody who is benefiting out of these people's efforts and energies. And for them, they are impoverished, and they will never even smell of this thing called middle income, because somebody is depriving them of their right.
Okay.
So our leaders, can they be able to get markets closer to these people in the villages?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Jordan?
Yes. Middle or what? I'll look at
or low or
economic advancement of a country. I'll look at it in a general perspective. My only role as a citizen is to ensure that I have something to sell and get money. In selling, some tax will go to government. A busy economy is what will give us. So that is my only role. But like I said, somebody can be made an inactive kind of citizen. When you look at the qualities here, according to the World Bank, the levels of corruption must be very low in a country like that. The country must be really at a serious neck to neck with the dollar. Things like that. I have very less power as a Ugandan. I don't want to use the word ordinary. As a citizen.
No, it doesn't make you less.
No. In some context,
saying the person or the man.
Let me say,
what is the best
as a Ugandan?
As a Ugandan,
just say that.
A Ugandan you would refer to
as a citizen.
Yes.
My contribution to ensure that I can only do it through hard work. You get? But the rest of the factors that are more impactful on the advancement of the economy are on the side of the system. You get? Yes, because me, I will make my money. I will come sell my cabbage and go back to the village. I'll come sell my milk and go back to the village. It is you to make sure that you look for the markets that really have the impact on the milk and the cabbage we sell to translate the strength of our money into that impactful kind of that strength that will fight the dollar and all the ceilings around.
All right.
For example, do you realize that even the South Sudan dollar somehow affects our shilling? With due respect, South Sudan dollar, it affects our shilling.
That is
you, Amon, and I, what can we do about that?
Okay, Amon, maybe something small to add on. Can I just add on something?
In seconds.
This is a very interesting topic and something that actually, as Ugandans, we must interest ourselves in. What Juliet was saying is very important. If you look at, for example, the economy of Uganda, the people, the drivers, or the most richest people are around Kampala. Actually, it's Kampala, Wakiso, and Mukono. You find that these are the places that actually contribute to the biggest GDP, gross domestic product, of the country. As you thin out, as you move away from the trading centers and the towns, other people are actually wallowing in what? In poverty. Now, what is important, or what government should do, how do we bring these people on board? We can bring them on board through quality education, through having good infrastructure. Can we connect the roads? Because the other time, if it rains so much, whether you have a lot of matoke or whatever in the villages, the roads are impassable. Just that matoke will rot there, it will not. So if we did, if we can increase in the infrastructure, then you will find that most of these things will come through, we'll export more, and you will find that the people will get richer, and therefore we'll be helping our people. Let's not only look at the people who are in towns. When you see they look well, the faces are shiny, and you think that everybody is
just
well.
To add on a little, Amon.
All right.
When you and I, like I said, you sell your cabbage, I sell my milk, and you get the taxes. The choice of how you use the taxes has a lot of to contribute towards the advancement of the economy. You get? I'll give the example again. You are paying public officers, some of whom actually have no impactful role towards the economy.
Are you saying that there are people who are paid and they don't have any positive contribution to this country?
What is the role of a minister without portfolio? I want you to tell me.
I will research about it.
Amon needs to research. We are spending money on such a person. Very much money, by the way. He has a salary, some good allowances. He has a car that consumes a lot of fuel. We even give him guards, which we pay, whom we pay, and some villages go without. The other day I was looking at there are people in Uganda who were crying over money lenders who even come at night and torture people.
Yeah, sure.
They don't have a police post at the village. But you find some man like that, he cannot even explain what he does, but we give him 8 men.
Amon,
please.
In Uganda, it is not that we don't have the money. We do have the money. But our priorities sometimes...
Exactly, that's not the role of Amon and me.
Yeah, our priorities sometimes, as a country, it baffles me. With due respect for the organizers, you organize a morality conference in Kololo and spend lots of money on it. Meanwhile, some hospital down in Namina, my village, is lacking medicines. Why don't you channel that? Do we have to organize conferences to really teach about morality? Can you teach morality in one day?
But at the same time, you tell us to do mindset change.
No,
you understand?
We can do it differently.
You see, example.
You want us to educate the...
Last year, there was Parliament had to pass some. Was it 200 billion for the World National Anti-Corruption Day?
Yes.
So the event was going to be in Uganda. Still, the woman MP from that side stood up and said, "Guys, if this money had been given to me, to my district, you don't know the miracle." Then the leader of opposition stood and said, "Can we stand up and say, let this money be given to all the health centers in Uganda, at least this year?"
Yeah.
Actually, the deputy speaker was the one in chair. He said, "But you know," I don't know why he even said. He said, "You know, service providers have already been paid. So what do we do?" Really?
So that means even the money was already spent before it was passed.
I'm not saying anything. But you see, the story.
Also considering what is President Hussein of Tanzania,
actually, she had cancelled the celebration of independence, saving 900 billion
to go and construct dormitories for
schools of the blind. They had given her a budget which needed 900 million to construct schools for the blind.
Maybe
dormitories.
We wanted that corruption thing to enlighten the public about
you understand
the level of corruption in this country.
We do need those, but our priorities as
we
a country.
are not a citizenry that come up to ask such questions. We are in betting, we are in Bivolo, we are eating pork.
Jordan, what did you expect an ordinary Ugandan to do in that situation?
Of course, nothing, but for now, we're talking about it.
Is not a member of parliament.
If I didn't have a lot of problems personally, I would love to start an initiative that would wash out the word "I am an ordinary Ugandan." It doesn't put anyone down, but psycho. There is a way it makes somebody think I can do nothing about this.
In support of the MP from Uganda, what would we have done as citizens?
In support, let me tell you, these programs, people have a lot of platforms where they can say things. A number of platforms. We are at an event. As the LC1 Amon, you have a chance to talk, and for example, independence is in our village. They will call you to welcome the president.
Of course.
What do you say there? I've been at different events
where welcome the president,
and people say, "Your Excellency, you promised me a pickup." Himself. You get. So if we start having people that are sensitized to know that they can really ask for what they deserve, these people will become leaders tomorrow, and these are leaders who will know that it's not about my pickup. What do these people, all my village members, need? We need a road. Our health centers does not have a nurse. We don't have drugs. The man comes back to Kampala knowing.
This takes me back to the individualistic tendencies that are in this country. the idlers, I mean the inactive citizens, are earning a lot of money compared to those who are active. Someone is sleeping, goes to work, swindles 2 billion, goes back home in just 1 hour. And for me who's been toiling, I wake up at 5, I go to work, I return home at 11 p.m. and I see someone who has just worked for 1 hour, and I say tomorrow I'm going to do the same. After all, he used me to get that 2 billion.
Thank you. So if this person is awakened,
individualistic tendencies. Gentlemen, our time is really not our friend. Kenneth, let me start with you again. Partial development model. The government is trying all means possible to make sure that the people of Uganda get these services, and also the other plan was to modernize the economy. And now we have the partial development on table. The responsibility and the duty of citizens to make sure that this does not go in rain like other programs, because we only regret when programs like Myoga, because this money is there and many people are benefiting from it. But if I don't benefit from it, I say it has been for the other people, not for us. Let me get your opinion on that, Kenneth Odima.
Yes, Odida, by the way.
Odida.
Point of correction. O-D-I-D-A. Odida.
Yes. Interesting.
Yes. Mr. Moderator, I must say Uganda has always had very good programs. Especially the government has had very good programs for the citizens of Uganda. I would want to begin with the time of Tandikwa. We come to Emioga and many other things, other programs. Today we have a parish development model, which is a very good one that if well taken advantage of, it will maybe cause very positive impact on the lives of our people. I would still want to appreciate Jordan is really getting so, he's very stuck to his gun that Ugandans must really ask questions. You see, this is a very powerful, positive program. If other factors do not play in, as we mentioned, corruption tendency and all that, I think we tend to achieve some mileage over that.
All right.
I continue?
As you end.
Yeah.
End on it.
I want everybody everybody involved, especially the implementers and those that these programs are tailored for, to do their part, so that they're able to benefit out of these Paris development model.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Michael Fupa, I would love to address the concern of SDGs. What is our contribution? How can a citizen of Uganda help the country of Uganda to fulfill these SDGs, which are globally, because we are global citizens?
Yeah, thank you so much, Amon. SDGs, maybe you could give them in full. I know there are indicators that the development goals. Okay, the development goals. I know that in the whole world, we almost have, actually we have similar things that we need in life. If you look at on the side of government, you look at things that the services that they are supposed to provide to the people. Of course, the first one should be the security, and the security of the people and their property. The other one is to ensure that the education that you are giving to your people will uplift them and therefore be productive people. Next to that is you look at the issue of health. The health that you are providing to your people, is it the kind of a service that will make this person to remain normal and therefore be able to be to contribute, to be productive? The other one is, of course, the issue of having clean water. Clean water is a very important aspect of life, because it is the one that will help you either to be in a good, because we say water is life. So the sanitation and whatever things that are attendant to the good water or clean water is something that is very, very important. Of course, one of these days, people are adding on the issue of human rights, the rights of the people. And you find that in Africa, basically, we still have issues. We have a lot of archaic, traditional norms that may actually not favor everybody. Of course, before, of course, I think the current government came in. Of course, other governments were trying, but you find that people were educating more of the boys than the girls. But as we talk now, this government has brought almost everybody on board. So what is important for our government now and for us as citizens is to embrace these values, to embrace these goals and see how we move forward. However, where the problem is, Amon, is that the people who are supposed to deliver, the people who are supposed to look to implement some of these programs, you find that most of the resources either end up in their pockets or they're diverted to do other things. That's why our people may not be able to benefit from them.
We have goals, national goals at the country, and I would love to know the contribution of a citizen in achieving those goals. We have NDP 1, NDP 2, NDP 3, and so many. I cannot forget that in DP 2, National Development Plan 2, the plan has prioritized 5 key growth drivers with the greatest multiplier effect and identified in the, as we talked about before, the Vision 2040. We are looking at agriculture, tourism, minerals, oil and gas, infrastructure, human development capital. Name them. Where do I lie as a citizen to make sure that we don't miss out on that very plan?
As a citizen, my only contribution would be that I own these programs that have been flowery or very good programs that have been brought up. For example, the parish development model, I own it. However, this baby is kind of being strangled before it is even crawling or starting to learn to milk, to suckle its mother. It is. You've already had stories of we've not gotten the money, we've not done this, and that is really raising questions. And some people, I don't know whether the sensitization is not being done well. People think it is something like a token, like they have been given some money which they should use and not return. That component is missing. So me as a citizen is to own and monitor. Actually, me, I'll be a class monitor. I'll be a monitor for those programs, because if it comes to benefit me as Julie and I've been given a goat to rear in PDM or because PDM works at groups, I would be a keeper of my group and find out whether this group, the money which we were given as a group, has made the impact it was meant for.
We have really 4 minutes to end this show. Jordan, give me your opinion about security. We have attacks on police posts. The police withdrew or closed their posts in those communities which were, instead of deploying more, they have withdrawn.
They ran away.
They ran away. We have another incident I saw in the newspapers yesterday.
Aman, if you are an ordinary person, you may think like that. So that is reorganizing.
No. Withdrawing is running away.
We call it tactical.
This is language. We should get to interpret words.
All right. Yes, we have a few minutes.
So you
the other day we also have some military officers who staged illegal roadblocks.
Yes.
those are coming from the security sector. We also have people who have been attacked and withdrawn. The guns have been taken away, especially private security guns.
Yes.
What is my responsibility as a citizen to ensure that the security of this country? I have a role to play.
Actually, the only role I can play is a long-term role. Like I told you, you have 14-year-old boys beating up people. What do those boys become when they are aged 40? The role, you see, like I'll echo this again. There is a man we pay tax in the names of Ammon to ensure that we have security. You get? So if he buys you uniforms, he gives you weapons, he even gets land and he houses you as a police post. So if you are attacked and you go away, somebody doesn't want me to say you ran away.
They are recognizing themselves.
No, that way. So villages, if you who have a gun, you are going away. Who should handle men with their poor men with their hoes and pangas that they used to plow in their gardens? No. So they took off. So okay, they are reorganizing.
Not taking off. Not running away.
Okay. But I think the system, it needs to look at security in a broader sense. In my view, taking an analytical look about a number of things that have happened for a long time, we need to boost the investigative unit in our security system to have information prior, or even if we get it after something has happened, let it be the real information.
All right.
Yesterday, it is when information came out, naked evidence around Entebbe Road and Deje side. I hear UPDF people, army officers staged that kind of a roadblock. They robbed the people, but police was able to arrest them.
It was a joint operation between UPDF and police.
Thank you. It was police that arrested the guys.
No, it was police who arrested them.
Now UPDF officers attacked this police and they rescued their colleagues.
And these are bodyguards. And these are bodyguards of a vehicle.
So we're discussing it yesterday. So we need to have doesn't that bring suspicion that a number of times we have had incidents where actually our own were involved, and how are we going to go about it as a country?
All right.
Thank
you. Our time is fast spent and we may not go beyond that. This one didn't put the name, but I have to read this message. Good morning, presenters. I heard you trying to talk about corruption. Let's talk about it so much. Because if you don't talk about it, nothing, it means nothing. It means we have done nothing totally. It says management. Our time is fast spent. I'm going to give you, we have only 1 minute to share, all of us. I'm going to give you 5 seconds each one.
Me?
Let me start with you, Kenneth.
Yes. Thank you.
Your way forward in seconds, sir.
Yes, my way forward, I think let's all take responsibility. They say charity begins from home. If we are supposed to be productive overall to the growth of our nation, let's begin from home. Let's begin from home as individual households.
Okay.
And we have a multiply effect.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Michael Fupa.
Thank you so much, Chairman. My take would be that all of us know that if we work hard, all of us contribute to our country, and we will develop if every one of us is also doing something. On the side of security, I would say much as we empower some few people to have some dangerous weapons which they are supposed to use, security starts with everyone, and we are the ones who can provide very useful information to these people. And I know that it could have been I don't want to use ordinary. Okay. It could be one of the citizens, either who called the police and alerted them.
My movement started working.
No, I just want to be in peace with Brother Jordan. It could be an ordinary person. And no, one of the citizens who called and alerted that there is a roadblock here. Is it a legal one or what? And because of that, I think police reacted,
Thank
and
you,
that's
sir.
why those people were arrested.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Juliet?
My take-home point in this show is to be more responsible and accountable to everything that we do in this Uganda of ours, because our leadership is a reflection of really our society. What we are as a human being or as a society reflects on the type of leaders that we have. So our leaders, if they are corrupt, if they are dishonest, if they are immoral, if they are selfish, that means even us as human beings, we have these traits in us, and it is upon us that instead of going to church and dress yourself in very good clothes and wear nice perfume, let's really clean our hearts and own our responsibilities as Ugandans and be good citizens who will be making Uganda proud.
Thank you. Jordan?
So I wind up with this. To me, my message is for everybody to play their role. In whatever office you are, do what we expect of you without any excuse. You get? At least let us understood that Amon, you are the OC of Kampala Road Police Post, but you are not given manpower. Then, as the citizen, we have a duty to ask questions to whoever has to give the OC manpower, because we pay taxes. Then, go back to our responsibilities. You pay the taxes. You have no right to ask any question when you're not contributing anything. But when you're contributing, then that is the qualification to ask questions. I request all Ugandans to know, you have an LC1 in the village. How do we have residents that don't have at least a pit latrine to cause us problems in the village? Yet this man, even government, sometimes I heard they were given bicycles. You are a whole committee of 9 people and people don't have pit latrines in the village? How? We should be able to ask questions. Why do we have insecurity in the village when there is an LC team? Because that's where it starts from. The LC must be supporting police, and that way we shall have secure villages. But the problem is that we sit back and wait until problems happen. That's when we come up to speak. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. I thank you, gentlemen and the lady, for sparing time to share your views with us at UBC Ground Zero. I must thank you, all the listeners, those who are on radio and online, those who sent their messages, and those who spared time to call. I'm still seeing your calling, but we don't really have that time. You know, time has not been our friend. We've been awakening citizen responsibility to the national development. I had Michael Fupa is coming from Butebo Radio. I had Michael Jordan Rukoma is coming from UBC TV. I had Odida Kenneth coming from UBC Radio, and Juliet, the only lady we had in the studios, Juliet Naiga coming from UBC Red. Ampeire Amon Ortega is my name, and we thank you for making UBC your favorite stations, for all the stations that we have in the country, and for making UBC Ground Zero your most favorite and radio program. Until next time, same stations, different program. Ampeire Amon Ortega is my name. Allow me now to sign out.
That was Ground Zero Season 2, a production of Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, UBC, inspiring Uganda. It's hot.
We passed it. We didn't know exactly what the problem was on the ground. There is no pretending about the effect of this thing. There's no pretending about it. Nobody should. It's a problem.
It's balanced.
This is not the stage at which you start planning to tax a commodity like coffee, especially from down there.
It's intellectually engaging.
The Constitution provides that the land must be registered under the citizenry system, which is one of those that's recognized by the Constitution.
Ground Zero Season 2, live and syndicated on your public and national broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.